This screencast is for a simple course management system add-in for RStudio Server Pro. It assumes you've watched the earlier videos in the series on handing out assignments, collecting student work, and grading it. This screencast covers using the add-in for the final step in that process, returning graded files to students. You can always get to the add-in from the RStudio Server account in which you originally installed it. Just click on the Add-ins menu here and choose the Simple Course Management System add-in. It opens the add-in in a new tab in your browser. The add-in is broken into 3 categories shown at the top. In this screencast, we're working with the file sharing tools. This menu is how the instructor chooses what file sharing action the add-in should take. In this screencast, we want to return some graded student work, so we choose Return a Graded Assignment from that menu. In previous screencasts, we collected the file exampleassignment.rmd and edited each collected copy to add instructor feedback and a grade. Now we want to give each of those edited files back to the students from whom we collected them. We enter the file name without any path in the blank for a file name. As in the past, the bottom half of the interface updates automatically. Each line represents a file copy operation that will be performed if we proceed. The source files are the files we collected and graded, all stored in my chosen grading folder. The copies will be distributed to the submissions folders of their original authors. Notice that the word graded is added to each file name, so the student's original work is not overwritten. The files do not exist in the destination folders, as a double check to be sure that I haven't already returned this assignment. If I had, the interface would tell you whether the version in my grading folder was older or newer than the returned versions. You can choose which subset of students will have their files returned. By default, all students are selected. Clicking the bottom button distributes the files, overwriting any file I had already returned of the same name. To avoid that, we could use the top button, which would return files only to those students who don't already have a graded file of that name. This is useful if you return graded files in batches as you complete them. We have already checked that there are no potential collisions, so in this case, both buttons have the same effect. We click one button to return the files, and you can see that the interface updates itself. If a student logs in and checks their submissions folder, they will find the graded version of their work. They can knit the file to see the instructor's feedback typeset as described in a previous video. That's how you return a graded assignment to your students. The final video will demonstrate the final portion of the user interface, how to monitor student work on R Markdown files using live in-class exercises, and share the results of their work easily on an in-class projector.